Greetings from Washington, D.C. This is Peter Thomas, the General Counsel of NAAOP. Well, I wanted to start by thanking Annika Berlin, our 2025 George and Dena Breece Fellow, for her exceptional service during the 10-week period she spent with us in the summer at the NAAOP national offices in Washington, D.C. Annika was an exceptional fellow, joins 7 other just outstanding young individuals who use O&P, learning about policy, learning about O&P advocacy, and really trying to understand how O&P fits into the broader continuum of disability and rehabilitation policy. So Annika was really exceptional. One of the things she took on this summer was to research and to draft a policy statement on tariffs as they apply to orthotics and prosthetics. And she was instrumental in putting that work together. The O&P Alliance shared that as a joint document earlier this summer. That background document and that work that she performed was instrumental in helping NAAOP work with its O&P Alliance partners in submitting just recently a response to a proposed notice by the Commerce Department that involves an investigation of PPE, medical devices, and possibly including orthotics and prosthetics. In fact, we drafted a very robust statement to discuss the issue, talked about the importance of preserving access to patient care, how manufacturers and suppliers can't pass those costs on to consumers, and making sure that the long-standing Nairobi Protocol, which provides for duty-free treatment of some orthotics and prosthetics, is maintained into the future. So kudos to Annika, and we wish her well, and we thank her for her service to NAAOP. The government is currently shut down. It's day 20 of the federal shutdown. The U.S. Congress has not been able to agree on funding levels for fiscal year 2026, which began on October 1st. And so large parts of the federal government are furloughed. Other divisions are being, some jobs are being eliminated. Whether they're being challenged in court or not remains to be seen. But ultimately, Washington is in a bit of dysfunction at this point. There's no real end in sight. The negotiations continue. There's votes in the Senate to reopen the government that continue to fail. The real issue has to do with passing a continuing resolution to get the government open again, and doing something to accommodate the very significant spikes in insurance costs that most people are going to experience this year, if they haven't already, in preparation for the next calendar year. We do expect big increases in Affordable Care Act plans, largely because of the elimination of the enhanced subsidies that were passed during the COVID era. And that's one of the key issue areas that's trying to be worked out as we speak. The good news is that Medicare providers, suppliers will continue to be paid during this period. There will be a 2-week delay, but that delay applies under normal times. So we don't expect that the shutdown will interrupt the flow of Medicare payments. I will say that the shutdown has already interrupted rehabilitation and in particular orthotic and prosthetic research, particularly through the Department of Defense. The DoD committed, and the President validated that the troops would be paid, and so the DoD is looking for all kinds of areas where they can take from one program under the Department of Defense and devote it to active duty pay. And so one of the areas they're looking at and have taken from is the research department. We don't know whether that's going to be a permanent taking of those funds or whether those will be replenished when the federal government finally does reopen. And we'll be back in touch to talk more about that in the future. One last thing we wanted to say is that George Breece, our founding and long-standing executive director, will be retiring at the end of this year. And we're so grateful for his extensive hard work and incredible commitment to the NAAOP that he's demonstrated since 1987. We have a plan in place for our next leader, our leadership team, and look forward to sharing that with you just as soon as we are able to do so. I think people should know that we plan on having a fellow in 2026. We plan on doing a fly-in, a congressional fly-in. We plan on running our webinars. We plan on communicating with the field in much the same way we have this year. We look forward to a very bright future. But we do thank George Breece for his outstanding work throughout these many years. And of course, we thank you for supporting NAAOP. Thanks so much.